Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ask the Experts. We are going to get started in just a second. I'm doing a few housekeeping items to let if some people in and to make sure that we are good to go. This meeting is being recorded and will be reshared
Good
on
morning,
our
everyone, and welcome to
on
Ask
our
the
YouTube
Experts.
channel.
We are going to get
All right. Good morning. I see we have Attorney Sean is here and we have Dr. Trina. I saw her log in a few minutes ago. Yep, got her here. And we will get everyone ready to rock and roll. It is so good to see you guys. As you all know, I am now an official media person. I don't know if that's such a thing. I feel like now I can go and start a production company. Let's get this show on the road. All jokes aside, it is an honor and a privilege to have Attorney Sean and Dr. Trina here with us. They are going to give us some very important information today. So if you have a question, I urge you to put it in the chat. I have a few that we have taken from social media and some from email. So sometimes they say opportunity when opportunity knock answer. So this is an opportunity for you to get some questions answered that you normally would potential, pay a high price for. Um, and it's a worthy price to pay. The information is valuable. I tell anybody if it's going to save you time and money, it will pay off in the long run. So take advantage. Mr. Sean and his wife, Dr. Trina, they have extremely busy schedules. So I'm extremely honored that they're here on our show as guest panelists, and not just as guest panelists, but as friends of mine. So it is an honor to consider you guys as friends, and I pray that that is mutual. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Uh, if you've been following Ask the Expert for a number of weeks now, you may know that this is more relaxed, yet professional, but we just want to be able to get the information to the communities. We want to be able to put business owners in a position to win, and not just to win for themselves, but so that they can help their communities that they serve. So even if you're not a business owner as of yet, I pray that something that you hear today will bless you, even in your personal life, whether it's your personal business, personal finance. You may get some of this information to share with some friends and family. You may have children that want to start businesses, or you haven't quite decided what you're going to do after you retire. This gives you a platform to explore some options. The AK Legacy Foundation, we are founded on the principles of financial literacy and on business development. We truly believe in paying it forward. I will ask that you guys check out the website. I will go midway the show today. I will click on the website and give you guys a quick tour so that you can look around and see what it is that we are doing presently and what we plan to do in the future. So let's go ahead and get the show started. I will properly introduce my guest, but I always like to start with a mystery question, which our guest panelists have no idea what the questions are. So yay, we get to put them on the spot and let them show off their expertise. So don't be too nervous. You never know what I'm going to ask. So let's get started. So we'll start with Attorney Sean, and then I'll ask a mystery question to Dr. Katrina Pulliam, and then we'll give them a proper introduction. All right. So Attorney Sean, the mystery question for you, you're going to pick number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
All right. Number 2. Oh, this is interesting. I have recently divorced, but started a business with my spouse. Who has the rights to the intellectual property? I guess they started the business together and they could probably collabed on it or something. So
that's a good question. It's going to depend on 2 things: what type of intellectual property we're talking about, and how the rights were actually assigned during the course of the business. So, for example, if it's a patent and the 2 spouses are listed as inventors and they never assign the patent to the business, then they each own 50% of the patent. If they assign the patent to the business, then the business owns the patent, and then it's how their ownership is allocated within the business. If it's a copyright, again, it's joint copyrighted work, so they each own half the copyright rights. If the copyright was then assigned to the business, then the business owns it, and then it's going to be reflected based on their business ownership. So the simple answer is that if they own it individually, then it's how they assigned ownership when it was formed, when the intellectual property was created. If they transferred that intellectual property to the business, then the business owns it. And then it's going to be reflective of how their intellectual property, how the business ownership is shared between the 2 parties.
All right. So I whoever asked that question, I would do a couple of things, just like Attorney Sean said, go back and read the paperwork. It's so important, guys, to make sure that you do all your due diligence when you're setting things up. So prayerfully, they can work it out. If not, then this is one of the things they got to put in the settlement. All right. We'll come back to you. So Dr. Trina, you there? You ready?
I'm here.
Yay. Hey, lady, it is so good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
I love it. Dr. Trina is so fashionable, y'all. It's almost like a great reveal. I don't know if we're doing blonde today, if we're doing curly, we're doing braids, or we're going, we're doing it for the culture. You just never really know. Dr. Trina, I love it.
These are the keys to a happy marriage. So,
yes.
So you got to keep it interesting. He never know who he's gonna get each day. I'm just
that sounds like a message. This sounds like a message for part 2 for married couples only. I gotta have you on that. All right, so Dr. Trina, your mystery questions. Let me get those. Hold on. Question number 1 or 2 for you.
Let's go with 1.
All right, he likes being number 1. All right,
that's right.
1 and only. So all right.
Mm-hmm.
So Dr. Trina, the question is, I'm a social, well, according to this person, they are a social media, their business is on a social media rise. Do they need a PR person in case someone posts something that does not speak to their brand?
It depends on what they mean by social media rise. Do you have a multitude of followers, like in the thousands, Are you considered a social media influencer? So it just all depends. A lot of times I tell people they don't need a PR person. They may just need a consultant. Or they may need someone like a mentor that can give them the proper language to send to someone, instead of having a PR person, because the typical PR services, monthly services, is like $2,500 to $3,500 minimum a month. There are some PR firms that offers services as well. So some of the things I spend a lot of times mentoring or doing some a la carte work, or doing more consulting, because everybody don't need a PR. You really don't need a PR unless you're a big firm, you're a big company that's doing a lot of big things, and you need someone to manage your publicity for you. Other than that, you may just need a consultant, or you may just need a mentor.
Right, right. Well, thank you. So guys, make sure that when you're having the conversation, you're using the right language, that you articulating what you want, so that when you get the invoice, there's no misunderstanding. So make sure you need what you're asking for, take in consideration the budget and where you are. And we're going to talk a little bit, Dr. Trina, about the social media, being social media famous versus being productive. So that'll be one of the things I know that I want to talk about with branding, because a lot of time in branding, it gets confused with putting yourself out there, but you want to give a good image, but are you living up? Well, we'll get into all that. So let's get started. I want to give our panelists an opportunity to tell us about themselves and what it is that they do, and how, kind of give us a little insight of what they're currently doing. So for Dr. Katrina Pulliam, this is a statement that she made. You guys, I'm going to share their website information a little later so that you can get in touch with them. If they have a question, if you have a question that we don't get answered on the air today, email me, put it in the chat, go on our website, do whatever you have to do, but we'll make sure that you get your questions answered. So Dr. Trina stated, she says, as your strategist, I offer you my expertise, skills, and absolute confidentiality. God has given me a tremendous gift, and it is through that gift that I want to help you turn your dream into reality. I empower others to look deep within themselves to achieve success, as I don't want them to experience the same pitfalls as I. You can be successful in spite of your circumstances. It is my goal to make a difference in all clients that last far beyond any strategy session. So it sounds a lot like Dr. Trina saying, you know what, when we're in session, we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna get down to business, but her goal and vision is to see you succeed beyond that. And it's not just about those 30 minutes in that consultation. So Dr. Trina, can you tell us a little bit about your services that you offer?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. So the services that we offer is like an array of things. For Pull Corp Media, we are a luxury boutique firm. Don't let luxury fool you. But a part of our brand is we do have our targeted clientele that we do targeted that we want to work with. And so we specialize in doing PR and management for influencers, for small businesses, especially based on the experience that we have. Our company was birthed out of our own personal experiences. We found that we were getting people to do our branding, to do different things for our business. And when we would get everything back, we would end up correcting it and fixing it ourselves. So we was like, look, let's just do this ourselves. And that's pretty much what we did. And so we just started, we were our first clients, and we started working for ourselves. And upon that, other people noticed the work that we were doing. They noticed our own personal brands. And we had someone reach out and say, hey, I want you to manage my music career. I'm like, I don't do music. I do business, because at the same time, I was still working a corporate job. And so I was like, I don't manage music. But after they begged and begged us, our first client, we got involved. Doors began to open in the entertainment industry, all of those different things. And so for us, we do what we love. I love entertainment and I love working with small business owners. I don't mind corporate too, but I love small business owners because I feel that given our personal experiences, that I am really here to mentor other people to make sure that when they start a business, they start their business correctly and they do it right. And they have someone that's going to cheer them on, because there are many days that I know you get to the edge and you want to give up, or you feel like everything that you're putting into your business is not working, you don't see it prospering, but just having that cheerleader there to support you and push you to help you continue. So that's what we do at Pool Corp Media. It's PR, management, and then whatever else. So if they need accounting or they need certifications, how we work, I send them the candy. We also specialize in working with nonprofit businesses, getting them set up. We have our director of our nonprofit division, who is Annette Morris. She lives out in Slidell. I am originally from New Orleans, but I'm in Texas. So I believe in working with individuals that are already in my network that's doing the thing. Some of those individuals go unnoticed. Those are the ones that I believe in working in to bring the spotlight, because those are the gems. I love collecting gems. And so I collect the gems and people to be a part of my team. What else? I love branding. I really do. I believe that when people see you, you should be your walking billboard. Like Candy don't realize, I seen a little AK Legacy cards that you got, that you have. And so, all of that is a part of your brand. You need to think like that. Like when Candy, when I turned the camera on, she was like, you're always different. You always fly, you always this. Well, that's what I'm known for in the industry that I'm in. Like, people want to know what you're wearing, what you look like, and it don't have to be all the name brand things, but it's always your brand includes how you carry yourself. What are you known for? Those different things play into branding. So our other company that we have is a production company where we do film and television, which was birthed once again out of us doing PSAs, and PSAs grew into something else. And so just so many doors open. And so if I got to go back and correct your work, I know how I want it. I just began to build my team, and we started another company for production. So anything got to do with branding, like filming your infomercial, your commercial for your business, or doing your digital press kit if you're a speaker, doing your digital press kit or anything, all of that goes through our production house. And then we have a nonprofit arm as well, because I believe in outreach, philanthropy, and giving back. And we have some special announcements coming later about that on, scholarships that we're offering to individuals that's going to college, and to individuals who have children under the age of 18 who have lost loved ones and their families can't afford to give them grief counseling. We actually pay for that. So I don't know, Candy, I have a hard time talking about myself. So
I'll don't worry, I'll dig it out of you.
yes.
Dr. Queen likes to be modest. She's more of a she don't like to do a lot of talking. She just like to get it done. Look, she
Yes.
wants to say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what when do I need it by. Don't
Mhm.
call me till it's done type person. So if you're the type of person and you're timid and you want things done and you don't have that fire in you yet, call Dr. Trina. You want to bring her
You
on.
got to be ready to take step A, because I'm not going to do it for you, because I find that if I do it for you, then that means you're not ready. So if you take step A, I'm going to do step B, then you do C, and then I'm going to do D, and we work like that. So I know Chef Fee, she's not on here, but she will tell you, you got to be ready when you come to me. If all you going to do is talk, girl, I ain't got time because I'm busy. I'm always multitasking like I am now. So Candy, don't fuss at me.
Oh, I'm already fussing because I tell you, I'm gonna take it there. Dr. Trina wants to save the world. She want to help everybody. If they're serious, if you're serious and you got some skin in the game, Dr. Trina will go to bat for you. She will definitely, do everything that she can. She will go out of her way, but she forgets to take that cape off sometimes. I had to tell her, you can't save everybody. And so, but I love that because she is, she's true to her work. And so we're going to get to Dr. Trina. We're going to ask her some more questions. I want to ask the questions that were given because my mind is like, I got a bunch of questions now. And so don't worry, I'll get it out of you. Don't worry, I'll get it out of you. So let's bring on one of Dr. Trina's favorite people.
What's that?
Her husband, attorney Sean Purium, he loves to tell us protecting your intellectual property. It is not just something to sound fancy. It is not just a task on your checklist. It is a must. And so, Attorney Sean, talk to us a little bit about what is intellectual property. I may have some people on that are not quite sure what is intellectual property. What do you mean protecting it? If it's mine, if I came up with it and I put it out there first, should it just be mine automatically? So help us out, Attorney Sean.
Absolutely. All right. So, as Candy said, I'm Sean Pullum. I'm a intellectual property attorney now. After a 25 plus year career in technology fields and computers with a couple of Fortune 100 companies. But to talk about intellectual property, it starts with an idea. And there are different ideas. And once we take those ideas and we bring them into tangible form, so we bring them from an idea from the intangible to the tangible, then now there's something there, and that's what we need to protect. And so it is an intellectual piece of property rather than a physical piece of property, personal property, or real estate or goods. These are ideas, but they're ideas that have been manifested into something. So, for example, if you come up with an idea for a new gadget or a new process or a way to do a process better, or a way to improve an existing gadget, that is something that could be patentable, and that's a type of intellectual property, a patent. If you uh, write a book, paint a painting, come up with a drawing, uh, write a song, those things are also ideas that have been now put into a tangible form, but we protect them with a copyright. Then let's say that you have an idea, or recipes are a good one for this because you cannot copyright a recipe, you can't patent a recipe. So if you're using the recipe in your business, you can protect it as a trade secret. And so it is something vital to your business. It would cause you to lose competitive advantage if the information got out to the public. So things like the 11 herbs and spices for KFC, or the exact formula for Coca-Cola syrup. Those things are trade secrets. They are things that the company protects to give them a competitive advantage because nobody else can then do it like them. Um, and so they have to put some particular protections around that information to show that it is something they've tried to protect and they continue to try and protect. And then the last one is uh, relates to your brand. So as you build a brand, as you get it out there, and whether it's a brand for service or a brand for different products, as you build that brand name, as you build slogans, as you run advertising, as you establish it in the marketplace, you want that brand to reflect your company and nobody else. And so we use something called a trademark protection to register that brand, register that slogan as it relates to those products. And trademark protections can take place at different levels. They can take place at the state, they can take place federally. It's really to put people on notice of, hey, this is my brand, this is my name, and it relates to this service or this product, and nobody else can use that. So that way, if the consumer in the public sees that brand, they know it relates back to my company and my company alone, and not somebody else's. So things like the Nike swoosh, um, the Starbucks mermaid logo, just do it as a slogan. Have it your way for Burger King, the Golden Arches. These are trademarkable ideas and trademarkable concepts, and that's another form of intellectual property. So those are the big four. There are other things that people get into. For example, if you are famous enough, your own image can be protected, and you have a right to say how that image is used if it's used commercially. This is called a right of publicity. That's gaining more and more traction in more and more states. The United States historically has not had a big right, personal rights and privacy rights type protections out there for its populace, but that has been changing as of late. So the right of publicity is another particular right and intellectual type property that can fall into your bundle of intellectual property rights. So we have patents, we have copyrights, we have trade secrets, and we have trademarks, and potentially the right of publicity, depending on the state.
All right, so I hope you guys are taking notes. If for some reason you're not and you're busy, I want to invite you to watch the replay. It will be posted on the AK Legacy Foundation YouTube channel. It will also be listed on our website. And a little later on in the webcast, I will take you guys through the website to kind of give you some information, tell you a little bit about what it is that we're doing. So I have a few more questions, and we're gonna dive right in. I have a question from one of our guests on Facebook. I want to read it straight from there. So hang on. I want to make sure I get it right. Something about trademark. So hold on. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. My apologies, guys. I'm getting like Dr. Trina now. I'm multitasking. All right, ask the expert. All right, the question in our Facebook Ask the Expert event says, "What is trademark and how long does it take?" So I guess that's for you. That's going to be for you, Attorney Sean.
Okay. Um, so uh, trademark, as I said, it has a twofold purpose. So the first purpose is to protect the public by making sure that a brand or a slogan for a product identifies one manufacturer or one source of that product. So the whole idea is to not have confusion in the marketplace as to a source of goods. Uh, the other thing that it does is it does protect that company in that the quality of goods and the quality of service, um, that is related to the name. It protects the branding, so that others can't come in and duplicate it and try to imitate without your permission. You can actually license your trademarks to others, but there are rules around that, because again, the whole idea is to protect quality and source and understanding where goods and services are coming from. So if you license your trademarks, then that's what franchises do. Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, Starbucks. When they set up an individual or independent franchisee, they're actually licensing all their corporate trademarks to that individual for that marketplace. But the idea is to basically, like I said, protect a class of goods or services, and to protect the name recognition, if you will. Now, how long does it take? That's a semi-loaded question, but I'll try and answer it as best I can. So there are 3 levels of trademark protection. There's common law, there is state statutes of state laws, and then federal law. So technically, the second you put a good out into commerce or service out into commerce, you start selling something, you are protected by common law practice from unfair competition and people trying to take your image and your customers and your business dress, if you will. You're protected from the moment you start using that mark in commerce. In fact, that's the measuring point that most of the other laws use. So the day you start selling a good or service is the day you are protected. Now, you are protected in a limited geography. So if I have my one brick and mortar chicken shack right there in the middle of Dallas, I'm protected then primarily in that Dallas geography, or I might be able to string that to the Texas geography, but that doesn't protect the Louisiana marketplace. That doesn't protect the California marketplace. You are protected within that geography. Now, if you take your name and your goods and your logo and you register them with your state, normally through your Secretary of State's office, now you have protection at the state level, and you have protected that geography, that name, for the geography of the entire state. That registration is usually pretty straightforward, as long as there is no duplicate name already registered. Normally takes the Secretary of State a week or 2 at best to kind of go through and see if there's anybody else who's registered that in their state. And so you can get that registration back fairly quickly. But again, that protects you in 1 state out of 50, and you don't want to have to do this 50 times. So how do we handle that? We come up to the next level, which is federal registration. Now, federal registration puts the entire country of the United States on notice that this name for this types of good or service belongs to you. So the search is a lot more intensive. It can take a lot longer. The trademark examining attorneys will dig deeper to make sure that it's an actual good that is in commerce, but they basically backdate your protection to the date you started using those goods or services, that you start selling them. So that protection can take up to a year for the trademark process to work through everything. It can come a lot faster, but typically trademarks 6 months to a year at the federal level at the outside.
Wow, wow. So it's so that is some good information. I pray you guys are taking notes. Attorney Sean, don't go anywhere. There's like a boatload of questions. So if you guys are, I believe you guys are gonna have a master class pretty soon. That will be an event that we can register through your site. So have that information for us when we come back to you on how do we get connected so we can, get the rest of this information, because what our desire here at the AK Legacy Foundation is to make sure that you don't spend all your time, your money, your energy, you put your heart and soul and investment in something, and then something happens to where you can lose it all, or someone else is monetizing your hard work. And so we just want to make sure that you guys are protected. That is why we're having this panel on today. And, I just can't thank them enough. So I want to take a second before we get into our next segment to take you all through our website, because I know sometimes people are like, well, I don't know where to click and what to do. So I kind of want to give everybody a brief overview so you can see what it is that we're doing here at the AK Legacy Foundation. Attorney Sean, can you see the screen with the website? I'm not sure.
Yeah, the website's
It's
a little
kinda
hard to
small.
see. Yeah,
Okay,
but it's visible.
Okay, all right. So I'll
Bo, the website's name is real light. The website is real light.
okay. All right. I'm taking all the information I can get. Anything, look, this is, even though this is for the people, it's for me too. So I'm taking all the notes as well. I'm definitely going to watch the replay. So I kind of wanted to just kind of show you guys where the website is, and I'll make sure that you get to see it a little later. I want to bring everybody's attention to our charity partnerships real quick, just so you can see. So if you're out there and you're viewing and you have a charity that you would like for us to spotlight, please email me and I'll make sure that my email address is in the chat, and it's here on the website where you can click contact us and shoot us an email. So if you have a charity that you would like for us to spotlight, so what we do here at the AK Legacy Foundation, even though we teach financial literacy and we also do business development, we understand that we are complete people. Aside from my business, we are humans that have we have desires. We want to see our people win. We want to see our communities thrive. And so we do have personal things that matter to us. And so for the month of August, we supported the Handbags of Hope, which we're still collecting toiletry items and handbags. These items will be taken to domestic violence shelters to help aid women who are in need of things. For the month of September, which we're currently in, we are highlighting the Teachers Initiative by the Ellerslie Foundation. They are providing school supplies to teachers. As a tax prepared professional, I know that a lot of teachers buy a lot of things out of pocket that they are not reimbursed for. The school doesn't have it in the budget, so they say. And then, when you file your taxes, you only can claim up to $500. Well, I learned that one of the rugs, the little reading rug, when you go into a kindergarten classroom and you walk in there, and you're like, oh, this is a cute rug. Well, that rug is about $500. I said, for a reading rug, so the rug is, I've been learning a few things. And so we help other charities fund their vision as well. If you want to give a donation, we greatly appreciate it. And we are asking. The Bible says, if you have not, because you ask not. I am asking. The AK Legacy Foundation, we are doing the work. We're making sure that business owners have the things that they need to succeed. There are thousands and thousands of businesses that close every year, not because the product wasn't any good and not because the food wasn't great. It's because of lack of business understanding, lack of financial literacy, just not having access, don't even know where to start. And so we're doing the work, and we know some things cost money. So we put together the AK Legacy Foundation so that we can help small businesses do the things that they need to do. If you have not started a business, we have a career test that you can take for entrepreneurship to help you figure out what that is. There is a fee for that test, so we'll even cover that if you qualify for the scholarship. So if you want to give a donation, and I want to thank the Pulliam right now. We'll stop in the middle of the show. They have been a supporter, not just of their time, but they have blessed the AK Legacy Foundation, and I love that about them. A lot of times people say, we'll pray for you. I appreciate the prayers. A lot of times people say, we're pulling for you. I appreciate the support. But what we need is, for you all to put your your money where your treasure is. If you truly value this organization, help us do the work. Be a part of the solution, and be a part of change and shift. And so I don't want to stop preaching, so I'll come I'll come back to that. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the website. If you don't get a chance to watch the entire presentation today, go to the website, click on webcast replay, and you'll have access to today's podcast. And so it is there for you to review. You can stop, pause, write, and share. And we just appreciate it. And there's some other things that we're doing. And so this is one of them. And so I just wanted to kind of show you guys what we're doing. Go on there, read about it, have a question, shoot us an email. All right, so let's get into our next section of the webcast. I hope you guys are enjoying everything. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Dr. Trina, this question is gonna be for you.
Okay.
All right, slogan. When it comes to branding, everybody, it's like information overload. Everybody's jewelry, everybody's doing hair and makeup, everybody got cupcakes. Well, I think Felicia got the best cupcake, but anyway. So
she do.
Okay. Shout out to our girl. So how do, a lot of times we hear business coaches or people that are influencers say, set yourself apart. You got to be better than the next. So what does that look like when everybody is doing something to set themselves apart and we're doing the same thing? Help us.
Okay. So I am the queen of like setting myself apart. So a lot of times people get they get discouraged. They get discouraged with oh well, I'm gonna use Felicia as an example. I'm not gonna do cupcakes because Chef Fee doing cupcakes. Oh, well, ain't nobody gonna buy my cupcakes, so I'm gonna try to do it like Chef Fee do her cupcakes. She got a peach cobbler cupcake. Who has a peach cobbler? Cheesecake cupcake at that. So I'm gonna try to do it myself. And so my thing is, what I always tell people, what sets you apart? And this is why I love Chef Fee. I'm gonna talk about it because that's my personal chef. That's my big sister, like my everything. And so the thing is, what sets her apart from everybody else that does cupcakes, that does food, period, with her brand is that, first of all, her logo is a cartoon character. So that's different. It's original. I haven't really seen it anywhere. Second of all, she takes her brand seriously because when you see her car, you see the whole car is wrapped. She just got a new car and she wrapped that one as well. And so her brand is very distinctive. It stands out. That's what I love for as her brand as well. When you see her dress, she's going to be representing something that says Southern Best Catering or OMG Cakes. And so, and then when you get her food, it actually makes you say OMG.
Right.
So if you're going to do cupcakes and Chef Fee is doing cupcakes, what's going to make your cupcake stand out more? What's going to make your cupcake stand out better than hers? What are you offering? So like for me, I'm on a dietary restriction. So I ain't supposed to have nothing sweet or any of these things. And so that's what people should think about, just as an example, think about how can I serve the diabetic? How can I serve someone that's health conscious? And when I say, every time I go to the doctor and I come back, I'm like, nah, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And when I call her, she like, hold up. She does her research. She does what she has to do to accommodate. So when she cooks for my house, there's 3 of us in the house. So when she cooks or bring us over food or whatever, she's bringing 3 different meals. So customer service speaks about your brand as well. What are you going to do to make sure that your client is happy? So that's an example of having your brand stand out. I know, like, oh, that's Candy. Okay, so I know, like, for me, for as our company, we're very hands-on, although they tell me I can't be hands-on with everybody, but we're a very hands-on company. So guess what? I turn down people left and right all the time, not bragging about it, but I am securing my brand. I believe in what our mission is, what our values are. And so that's one of the things that help us stand out and stand apart, because I want to be able to give that one-on-one attention to our clients. But
All right.
I make referrals to other people,
And is it, I guess in my experience, I'm big on customer service. So
Mhm.
I truly believe that people buy you before they buy your product or service.
Mhm.
Um, so would you agree or disagree that if I say the personality is almost, the personality has to speak through for the brand? You can't just get,
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to be modest.
That's the first thing I look. I go look at your social media. I want to know what you're about. Don't send me no friend requests. You don't have no pictures, none of that stuff. Like now, I have a client that has, oh my gosh, she has a university and there's thousands of students in there. And so they have access. She's created like her own Facebook community. You send me a friend request, first of all, it's a business university. You send me a friend request, you don't have a picture, I'm not accepting you, because that means you're not ready for business yet. And that's how I treat social media as well. If I'm going to do business with you, I need to see what you're about, because see, a lot of times we put on the mask, we put on the face to get the business. But I need to see what your overall personality is about. What do you share on your page? How do you live your life? Excuse me, but I don't need transference of of spirits and all of those different things. All of that affects my feng shui, if that's what you want to call it, or what who I believe in. Because at all of our companies and anybody we do business with, I'm a big faith builder. My faith is very strong, especially through everything that we've been through, and I'm still here to tell you. Like, you look at me, you might be like, oh my gosh, she looks so good. But I am 3 years now, brain injury, stroke survivor that still have elements. I still have a lot of the side effects. I'm not supposed to be talking or walking, but I'm here. And so I have to be careful of who I align or tie to my brand as well, because anybody that I do business with, I do promote them, especially if they good. So I do promote them, and customer service is the number one thing that I look at. I don't care how good your business is, but if your attitude stink, I'm moving on to the next person. That's just me.
Right, right. And that is so key. And I thank God that, for his grace and mercy that you are here. And I hear in that, even as business owners, especially startup entrepreneurs who don't have a business background or who have not technically been in the grind, sometimes we'll take on everybody. Okay, it doesn't matter.
You can't.
And
that's how I was when I first started. I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to take on everybody as a client. But as I grew in business knowledge, I had to sit back. I closed the company for like 2 years because I had to regroup. I had to restart. We grew too fast and I was not ready. And, I rather have quality over quantity. Why have 40 clients? And by the time you look at your finances, it only adds up to maybe 2 or 3 clients. So guess what? I'd rather have the 3 clients than to have the 40 clients.
Right. That is so true.
That's headaches I got to deal with. But, it's those things, because I believe, especially since I went through that medical issue and now I'm living with the long-term effects of it, that I learned to value my life. I learned to do balance, do self-care. You have to make sure that you practice self-care, even when you're in business. I see people say as an entrepreneur, oh, you work 24/7. No, you don't. Boundaries. You need to have your hours. If you're working a job and trying to build your business at the same time, we have to work on time management, and you still have to make sure that you take care of yourself, that you practice self-care and balance. Other than that, you're going to lose your mind. You'll be in the hospital, rehab, all of those things. Now, rehab medically, nothing else.
Right.
All
And,
of those things.
right. And
And
we have,
yeah, and when I say you know, that's the time when you got to, you can't, you could be selfish and take your self-care time, but at the same time, when you're trying to run the work, build a business, go here, go there, oh, I gotta be here so people can know about my business. No, you have to know what's best for you, especially if you have other people in your family or at home that depends on you. You know, at the time when I got sick, I had 3 kids at home. I had a husband who was in law school working, all of those things. It was a major shift, but because of my faith, it was a major shift, but I didn't feel anything. That's just how smooth God worked everything out. I didn't, what I thought I needed, or what I thought I needed, I didn't need. And so God revealed a lot of things, and I would say it was a very smooth transition.
and I believe that's happening for us now in this COVID season. We're having time of reflection and we're making decisions. We're checking what is really important. So our hearts and prayers go out to each and every person that's affected, have been affected due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And it has forced, especially those of us in the business world, to amp up our brand, to make sure that our products and things are protected. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask a few more branding questions, some more intellectual property questions, but I want to do a sidebar. I always want to make sure that we are self-conscious of the social things that are affecting our community at the present time. So I'll start with Attorney Sean. As you can see on the screen, I have our Let's Talk About It segment about voting. A lot of times, especially in our community, we hear my vote doesn't count. Can I really make a difference? Attorney Sean, do you think this election is any different? And I don't mean to get political, so we're not going to discuss, like, we're not going to argue over the sides, like if you're Republican or Democrat. I like some of the policies of the Republicans. I like some of the policies of the Democrat. I'm for Jesus and I'm for what's right. So I, you know, it's kind of wherever I fall at the boot. But I tell you now, you know, I know something got to be done different. We're in the midst of a pandemic. We have I got a chance to watch the video today of what happened prior to the gentleman doing the shooting and the protesters where the 2 people lost their lives. I only saw that, the ending part, but I had a chance to watch the beginning today. And I was like, are we going back to the 60s? I mean, what's really going on? So Attorney Sean, give me your spin on us exercising our right to vote. Not necessarily picking a party, but what do we need to be doing with our votes?
We most definitively need to be casting our votes. And I will second your statement of, I don't care which side you support, but you need to get out there and exercise the right. Yeah, there's an organization that I spend some time with, and they use a slogan: "A voteless people is a hopeless people." And without issuing taking the time to exercise those rights, we forget why we have them. And it's nothing like tell you the experience of law school to go through and try and understand, where those rights are actually established from. And especially for people of color, because you have to realize that at the foundation of the country, you didn't have that right. You were not really a person in this country initially. You were property. You were 3/5 of a person for population counting. So they could establish how many representatives the state got. So they kind of saw you as a person, but they didn't see you as a person. And it wasn't until we get to the 14th Amendment that you even get an opportunity at the right to vote. Then you have discrimination that cut off that right for so many people that we had to fight to get it. You're kind of right that we're almost heading back into the 60s, because I think we got enough change between the 60s and the 70s that people got complacent. And then we lost the leaders that would push it the rest of the way. And there's a very old saying, those that forget their history are doomed to repeat it.
Wow. Right.
And I am definitively scared that we have forgotten so much of our history that you're now starting to see the repeat. But I am also proud because I have millennial children that have stepped up and saw this and said, no, we're not dealing with it. We're not taking it. We are going to stand. We're going to speak out. We are not going to forget, and we are not going to repeat.
Right, that is so awesome. And Dr. Trina, that kind of brings me into my next question that I was going to ask you when he spoke about his, you guys, millennials. My daughter and her friends are millennials. And I remember at the onset of when George Floyd transitioned, I went to go somewhere. I'm not going to call the name of the restaurant, but I went to go, and my daughter text me. She said, we're not eating there anymore, and I'm like, who is we? Did I miss the memo? And she was like, yeah, all the millennials. She said, go on my social media page. It's a whole nother world. Go on their social media page. It's like a whole nother lifestyle. And so she was like, we're not, this is the list of places I'm talking about. This thing was 2 pages long. I was like, let me make sure my name is not on it, But they have united, and they said, if you're not supporting our cause, then we're not supporting your business. So Dr. Trina, as a business owner, should we, to protect our brand and for the things that we stand for in our business for as having good products, good customer service, are we required, does it affect our brand if we're not standing up for social injustice? She's on mute. Did she get me? Did I mute her? I'm sorry.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. So
That's okay.
did you hear my question?
No, my
Okay.
volume was down too
I'll ask
low.
it again. That's okay. I'll ask it again. I know you back there behind the scenes trying to multitask. No, ma'am. I'm gonna right on back. Look, I have you until 12:15. So you got
Yes,
15.
you do. Yes, you do.
Yes, ma'am. So next time I'm gonna call your secretary and I'm gonna tell her to block your. No, I'm just playing. But let me rephrase my question. Attorney Sean stated that we have millennials that are concerned about the vote, and I was telling him how my daughter and her friends have given me this list of places I can't eat at, and I'm like, I want to go there, and they're like, well, no, Mama, we're not eating there, and I'm like, okay, and so. And all of her and all of her friends, they own businesses. So they're not afraid if someone is going to patronize them or not. They want to stand up for what's right. So my question is, does it affect our brand if we don't stand up and say, hey, I'm standing with Breonna Taylor, I'm standing with George Floyd, Jacob Blake? I mean, what happens if we don't? Because we want to protect our brand. We don't want to be controversial, but we, at the end of the day, we have to go home to these communities. So what do you think we should do?
It all depends. So like for me, I'm very careful what I support without doing my research first. So I'm gonna give you an example. Go to my page, you may not see the we need to fight against this, because a lot of times media can paint a picture, and I used to be on the law enforcement side of doing investigations and working those different cases and those different things. Now, don't get me wrong, I do work with a national organization, Sisters for the Movement. If you heard of Botham John, who was killed here in Dallas, his sister runs that organization. Sean is one of their attorneys, and I'm one of their advisors. So, we do get involved, but I have to have all the details. So when it comes to business, make sure it's on mute. Whenever it comes to business, you just have to, first of all, never back down from what you believe in or what you stand on, but make sure you do a thorough investigation before you say, oh, I'm gonna support this movement, I'm gonna support that. And yes, Black lives do matter. And at the end of the day, we can say boycott this, boycott that, but will it make a difference if we're not changing policies, if we're not voting and doing those other things? Yes, we should support more Black businesses. I don't have a problem supporting Black business as a African American owned business myself, but we got to be ready to handle the business when it comes to us as well. And stop asking, this just a side note, because this get on my nerves. Just because we Black don't mean, why you got to come to me and ask me for a discount? Stop letting people ask you for a discount. If you want to offer a discount, you can, but stop asking people for a discount. And don't be afraid to turn business away, because when you know your value and you know who you are, all of this is a part of branding. When you know your value and know who you are, you stand your ground on that.
Yeah, yeah.
If we're gonna boycott other restaurants or other businesses, yeah, I'm done with Drew Brees. But if we're gonna do stuff like that, we just have to make sure that we're doing it for the right reason. We're doing it with purpose. So I'm gonna boycott your business today. So what's the long-term plan?
Right.
Yes, get out, exercise our right to vote. Vote for the best candidate that you see fit for. But if you're not voting, you really can't even talk to me.
Right, right.
Yes, we're gonna do protests. Yes, we're gonna do riots, all of that stuff. But the thing is, you want to know what makes a difference? Is when we take the pen to the paper and let's go to DC, let's go lobby. But once again, just like business, we don't want to put in the work to build an effective business, to build an effective brand. And I've saw some of the questions on the Facebook page, even about trademarking. I think this year, personally, myself, I didn't let Attorney Sean do it because he said I don't listen. So he said I'm a bad client. But we have a couple other attorneys we work with too. But the thing is, I've trademarked about 3 things so far since COVID-19, because it's things out there that I didn't even realize that I'm sitting on that needs to be trademarked. So don't sit on it. Especially when it comes to business, like the social media question. If your social media is rising and you got quotes and all of these different things that's originally yours, you can trademark those things. But what are you putting them on? I see Kitty is on here. If you got a book series, Kitty, I found out this year I could trademark my book series. So those are things that you can do. If your brand is specific and it's how you make your money, you can trademark that name as well. So it's just so much that I've learned since COVID, from about patents, just all those different things that's very important to our business, that you want to make sure, because you could trademark on a local level, he might give me, but you can trademark on a local level, but that will only protect you. Like if I trademark here, it's only going to protect me in Dallas, but I'm a global brand. So I just did all my stuff federally through the federal government to do my trademark. So once again, make sure you vote, make sure you exercise your rights, make sure you encourage one another to, write your congressman, write your city person. Let's change some laws, because other than that, things are going to continue to be the same. If we march, that's fine. Do a peaceful march, but no rioting or tearing up the city, because guess what? You got to live there. So why would you to live? I'm just saying. But, continue to have a voice. And if you firmly believe in Black Lives Matter or whoever lives matter, stand your ground for it. And sometimes, once again, if it affects your business, that's your belief, don't back down from it, because you really want to work with people who values and morals line up with, you know, with what you're doing. So I'm gonna give you an example. Like in the entertainment industry, we deal a lot with let me say the right thing because I don't want to be like with Nick Cannon, but we deal a lot with, you know, the Caucasian population. And yeah, some people that's a part of our team, you have to be careful, but you still got to talk about it. Race is still a very sensitive subject. Now, my daughter, she's in corporate America and she just, you know, out of all of this with George Floyd, she just became a rebel. And I'm sitting here like, here you go lose your job, you know, because she's friends with her co-workers and everybody. She's on social media. She like pro-black militant, you know, those different things. And so we had to have that heart-to-heart conversation, but because she feels how she feels, we couldn't stop her from posting. But if you're gonna do it, just do it in a right way, you know. So it's really up to you. I never tell anybody to devalue their brand or devalue who they are for business or for anything, you know. Stand your ground in what you believe in, but do it the right way. And before you join any movement, make sure you do your thorough research on what that movement is, what are the details, what actually happened.
Thank you, thank you. And Attorney Sean, I know for myself, when COVID first hit, I put out a statement. I sent out an email to all of our clients saying, hey, you know, if you've been affected by COVID, reach out to us, XYZ. Is there a legal component to posting things on our website as far as our, you know, as far as our business? Just like Dr. Trina was saying, if we have a choice that we want to make clear that we're not going to stand for social injustice, or if we want to post if you've been affected by COVID, is the privacy laws and all those things. If clients start emailing us back and saying, hey, you know, I was affected by COVID, you know, and I need your product or service or whatever the case may be, is there something that we need to be make sure that we're mindful of from a legal standpoint when we're making these statements on our websites or on our social media pages?
There are a couple of things. So just at a high level, I'll talk about the intellectual property one first, because I know I've mentioned that before on one of these calls. A lot of times we bring background music or pictures or stuff into videos and things that we do online. And so one thing you have to be cautious of is, do you actually have the right to do that? The person who created that music, the person who created that, painted that picture, or took that photograph, has a copyright right as to its reproduction. So your use of it could infringe on that person's copyright. A lot of people they'll get around that by saying, trying to get around that by saying, I don't own the rights to this music, or things of that nature. That doesn't exactly excuse you from violating that person's copyright just because you said, okay, I really don't have the rights to this. A lot of hosting services like YouTube and other media hosting platforms have a safe harbor type thing. So they kind of scrub through the content that's being submitted to them and look for the pattern of those songs or that music or whatever. And that's where you get that kind of guideline where they've muted your soundtrack or they've taken your video down because it's violating someone else's copyright and they've claimed it. So they've defended that. So to protect themselves, the hosting platform just takes your video down and says, y'all figure out the whole rights issue, and then then we'll deal with the video being back up later. So that's one aspect whatsoever. If you are the other way people try and get around it is fair use, especially with copyrights. So you can't just use it as a part of your content submission or content creation and say, oh, okay, that's a fair use. If you are academically parsing through someone else's material, if you are news reporting on someone else's material, if you are critiquing someone else's material, that's more of a fair use, and you will get away with that more so than, oh, I just have their music playing in the background because I like it while I'm making this video. That's not exactly a fair use. All right, so that's the intellectual property side. The other side of this is potential defamation of character type things. I'm assuming that's where you're going with the question. So, because if someone just says, "Well, yeah, I've been affected by COVID," or "I've lost my job," or whatever else, and they're responding to your advertisement or your posting or whatever, if you have need of these services because of X, reach out to me. That's on them if they reach out to you. But for you to make a statement about a particular officer in some officer uh, uh, misuse of force type situation versus talking about the situation or the social aspects of the situation. If you're talking about that individual officer or that individual person, you could be falling into defamation type liability. You could. And there's two main types of defamation type liability, slander and libel. So if you speak about it to a third person or to somebody else and publish it, that's slander. If you write about it, if it's literary, it's libel. But both of them fall under the umbrella of defamation, which is a tort. It's basically a civil lawsuit type area. So the other person would, one, have to know that you did it, have to show some injury that happened because of your statement, and then want to come after you for it, figuring they're going to get some money out of you. If any of those three elements aren't there, they likely will not bother. But doesn't mean they can't.
Y'all gotta be careful when y'all. So it sound like we need to be careful. You done made a whole bunch of cupcakes and sold a whole bunch of jewelry and sold a whole bunch of T-shirts, and now someone is suing you because you have made a negative statement. Well, in their eyes, a negative statement about police brutality, about the way COVID is being handled. You're talking about this, hospital XYZ wasn't properly taking care of my aunt when she had COVID, and you're putting that on your business page. Now you have put your business on the list for the suit. And so, guys, we have the gifts and talents and the skills, and we have creativity, and we're doing all these things that we love and we're passionate about, and it's our purpose. Don't lose it all because you didn't take care of the business side. Protect your brand, protect your intellectual property. Schedule a consult. If you're not ready to go full on with an attorney on retainer or hiring a PR firm full time, invest the money in a consultation. Have your work already done. Don't go to them for them to put it together. You go to them and say, "Hey, this is what I've done. I want to pay for a consultation so that you can review what I'm doing already, so that you can correct me in my areas of wrong." Because there's some things I just learned. I thought if we put on there, "I do not own the rights to this music," we were good. Well, Attorney Sean just said,
not always.
We're wasting our characters on our post by putting that there because we're still not protected. So do the homework, do the work, make the consultation, make sure that you're on board so that you don't build your brand or build your empire, as we say, and then it all come crashing down because we didn't take care of the business side of protecting our brand and protecting our intellectual property. I have here, and look, when he said that, I was like, "Oh Lord, I just stole their picture off their website. I didn't get permission, so is it okay?"
No, because we have official promotional pictures, and so that's a part of your brand as well. But normally, that's what we do. So for anybody, if you're speaking anywhere, you're doing anything publicly, you have a right to tell. I just had this conversation with a client 2 days ago. they wanted to know, how do I tell this company? It's a corporate company, reached out to them. And when they did the flyer, they just went to her social media and took a picture. And so you have the right to have your own official promo pictures that you can put out, especially on events like this. And we look good too, I'm just saying. But you want to make sure that your brand
Yeah, because
is
I took this picture.
represented well.
Yeah, I went on your personal social media and stole this picture.
I thought you asked for that
if you would have
picture.
went to the business page,
Look,
it still don't mean that it was official,
I know, right? So,
Yeah, but she did the right thing in coming and asking us, well, she ain't asked me, she just told me, she said, hey, send me this picture. So, I sent it to her, but I gave her permission. But yes, if someone is using your logo or anything without your permission, you have to make sure you know how to protect yourself. And I know that when the George Floyd incident happened, I mean, we created disclaimers. So if you need disclaimers or the proposed language that you need, please reach out to us or reach out to your attorney or business advisor that you use to give you the right language that you need to put on your website or put on your business, because we did put on our social media, that we support Black Lives Matter. We did our whole little disclaimer for it, and we posted it because at the end of the day, you have to respect who we are and what we are. So
right.
I have friends of all races,
Right. Now, we're just getting ready to say that.
I don't judge people based on the ignorance of some of the people that's in their race. So,
right. And that's what I was just getting ready to say. I have family members that are of all races. I have clients. I have friends that are of all races, and more than one. I have, my friends are, and I truly believe that a lot of times when we get together and we do these things, just because we all just so happen to be on this panel that are Black American, we have had Caucasian Americans, Indian on here. We've had people from other countries, different shades. And so the AK Legacy Foundation, we do not discriminate based on color, race, creed, or sex, not religious preference, even though we're Christian based, that is our belief, and we pray that you all come to know Jesus. However, we will not discriminate because of it. Now, in a personal note, I will be praying for you because that is my belief. So I want to make it very clear that even, we're very adamant about equality across all spectrum, whether you're male or female. I don't even want to talk about the pay scales between men and women. That's a whole nother show. And so, but yeah, we're not gonna do Attorney Sean like that. We're not gonna take it there today. We're gonna let him make. But but I do want to stress that no matter your race, no matter if you're male or female, if you need our services at the AK Legacy Foundation, reach out to us. We will, if we can help you directly, we will give you great referrals. Attorney Sean can help most of us, no matter where we live, because a lot of the the laws that he practices are federal. So reach out to him. Dr. Trina, the only reason she is sitting still is because of COVID. Because other than that, she'd be in New York, LA, Japan,
Atlanta.
Yeah, she wouldn't
California.
So,
well, I would actually be in France right about now if it wasn't no COVID-19. That's where I was supposed to be at. But, God had other plans. So I'm sitting at home. He wanted me to be with y'all.
Right. That's right. See, he did all that just for us. He's so special. So, take full advantage and shame on anyone that doesn't come out of this season better. Even though.
And if you, now I wanted to say, if anybody ever reached out to me, I'm kind of bad at emails and those different things, but just send me a couple of emails. I'll make sure that I reply back. So, for her, she's special. So that's why I'm here today. So Because normally I'm on a conference call. So, but I cleared my schedule so I could make today to come speak to you all.
We definitely appreciate that. And I put the email, the company email address that I got off the website.
Mhm.
I put it in the chat. So
Okay.
I didn't put your personal email on there. I see I'm doing good. And so,
Mhm.
you can reach Attorney Sean and Dr. Trina there. They do own Full Court Media and Consulting Company. Even though they have their different businesses, they have this umbrella of services that you can reach out to them. And trust me, guys, take full advantage of it. And I tell everybody, there's no way that this call shouldn't have 100 people on it, because what's going to happen when we hang up, somebody's going to ask us, hey, can you tell me what happened? Send them the replay link.
Yes.
Send
I'm
them
gonna
the,
go to YouTube.
yeah, go to
'Cause
YouTube.
YouTube is a business too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Always thinking
Go
in
there.
business mode.
Go to our YouTube channel, get all your, watch the replay, support the call, take advantage of this time, put it in the remembrance to Dr. Trina, say, hey, I was on Ask the Expert. I heard you speak about such and such. This is, what I would like to talk to you about. Attorney Sean, this is what I'm doing. Is there anything, and pay for the consultation. If they decide to bless you, great. But take advantage of the services, improve what you're doing, truly, truly, truly invest in yourself and in your brand, protect it. I can't say that enough. So what I want to bring everybody's attention to the screen right before we close out. Ask the Experts next week on the 9th, we will have Dr. Demetrius Schmidt. She is a certified midwife and I call them baby doctors, but there's a proper word for that, an OBGYN. She will be here on next week, and she will be speaking about raising awareness, prematurity in the Black community, and how business leaders can assist. And I want to make sure that just because it says in the Black community, if you are of another race, that doesn't mean that you can't tune in. Tune in and get the education, learn what the numbers don't lie. So tune in, see what's going on in your community, because these are the people that are patronizing your services. So find out what's going on with your clients, find out what's going on with your customers, and see how you can assist. And then on the 16th, we will be talking about the game of credit. That is going to be all about your personal finance, your business credit. You can't just be social media rich and not rich in your account. So we're going to talk about that on the 16th. And then on the 30th, we're going to talk about how to market your business. And we will also be celebrating my birthday, which is October 2nd. So on the 30th, I will get a chance to talk to all of our Women in Business members, which is Dr. Trina is an official VIP member of Women in Business. So she'll be back, hopefully, if I can track her down, tie her down. I see a couple of other members on here. I see Miss Angela, I see Miss Kitty. I see some more people on here that are Women in Business members. On the 30th, we're all gonna come on and have a showcase of what we do in our services, all in honor of celebrating my birthday. So make sure y'all come, because I'm gonna have my cash out ready. So y'all don't
You
pick
gonna
that.
have some cake?
Ma'am.
You gonna have some cake?
Yeah, I call Felicia and see if she can ship me some cupcakes. Maybe. But I really appreciate Attorney Sean coming on. I appreciate Dr. Trina. If you guys could check the chat real quick and make sure that you don't have any messages in the chat real quick. Once again, next Wednesday at 11 a.m., tune in for Ask the Expert. Please share, go on our social media, go on our website, leave us a comment, leave us a review. Tell us what we can do to improve. Tell us what you like best about it. Tell us what you don't like about Ask the Expert. We appreciate the feedback. We see the vision. Trust me, we're doing some things. Support us now while we're riding the bus, because the limo is on the way to pick us up. So we thank God for all of you, and I pray that you are blessed in your business endeavors, and I thank you all for taking the time out of the middle part of your day, and I pray that your time will be restored to you tremendously, that this was a great seed and a great platform for you to be here with us. So any final words, Dr. Sean, from Attorney Sean and Dr. Trina, any final words before we close out?
I'll let you go first, dear.
Okay. So pretty much I just want to tell everybody, remember that your brand is your voice. It's not the product. Your brand first is your voice. So your brand speaks volumes about you. And so remember to focus on building the best business that you can have. Don't worry about what other business, your competition, or who you perceive to be your competition. Don't worry about them. Just focus on building the best business that you have. Because if you're great, people will notice and opportunities will appear. For those of you who have heard me speak before, I say a few clients that I have now, I just followed them for about 3 years. Volunteered, did some work with them, and then one day out the blue, they kept trying to get in contact with me, and our times would never permit for us to meet. And then finally, they called and said, I need you to get to Los Angeles. I didn't know what I was going for. I was just being obedient, spent my own money. I didn't ask them to pay my way. And I went. And from there, our bond, our relationship developed. And now they've been our clients for about 3 years now, about 3 years now. And so just, continue to work your business, focus on your business, continue to be great and watch the opportunities appear, but you got to show up. And although it's COVID-19 and it's a virtual season, utilize the Zoom. I'm kind of tired of Zoom, but utilize the virtual platform, because that's the thing. Utilize your more and more people being creative on social media. So utilize your social media. You never know who's watching you. So the opportunities will come. Use this time also. Oh, I don't have a business, or I don't know where to start, or oh, I think I need to revamp. Use this time to rebuild. I've birthed several things during this COVID time. So use this time to work on your business, to grow it, to take candy classes every week, and take advantage of who's in the group and the services that they're offering. Because remember to invest in your business, because it's a tax write-off. I don't like paying the government back money if I don't have to. So just continue to educate. Just continue to educate yourself. That's
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Invest in yourself. Now is the time. Attorney Sean?
So I'll piggyback on that just a little bit more in terms of you being the best in what you do and being great in what you do. Don't be afraid to ask for the feedback from your clients. Even if you don't have a platform to display it, ask your clients, did I give you 5-star service? If I didn't, what can I do differently, or what can I do better such that you would consider the experience a 5-star experience? And that's important to me, one, just as a service provider, to make sure that I am giving my clients that 5-star service, but more so that as you are developing these new ideas and these new functions and these new things that are being birthed within you, and you want to elevate them to the best that they can be, and to be 5 stars. So as you develop that 5-star idea, make sure you give it 5-star protection.
That's right. That's right. Don't.
That's a part of his law firm. That's the slogan for his law firm. I'm sorry. See, branding, y'all. That's an example.
Yeah, don't just be a brand on paper or a digital brand. Be very, very diligent in your work and invest in it. And I want to take one quick second. This shirt that I'm wearing, y'all, I'm sorry, I was supposed to show y'all this shirt. It says Ask God. I don't know if everybody can see it.
Now we can.
Okay. Yes, one of my dear friends, Miss Renee. Her name is Renee. She goes by J. Renee Blings and things. And so I want to give her a shout out for her design that she did for me for Ask the Expert. She did this, and it says Ask God. And so with that, I will
Is
close
she
out.
on here? Does she do caps?
Yeah, she does everything. If it sits still, she can bling it.
Mm.
So trust me. So one of the things about J. Renee that I like is she takes what you're thinking in your head and she puts it into into an actual tangible product. And so one of the reasons why I told her to make it say Ask God is because we come on here every week for Ask the Expert, but I want to advise everybody, ask God first, seek him, let him give you the direction and the guidance, and pray that he's going to put people in your path. And so prayerfully, Ask the Experts is one of those platforms that he has led you to get the information so that you can better yourself personally and in your business. So remember, at the AK Legacy Foundation, we believe in building financial literacy and business development. And we thank the great people like Dr. Katrina Pulliam and Attorney Sean Pulliam that take time out of their day to share their knowledge and understanding that they have worked hard for, that they have paid the price, and that they have freely come here. They did not charge anything. They came here freely to share with us. And so I appreciate that so much. And we appreciate you all. And we pray that you all be blessed.
We
Yes.
gave you $550 of our time.
Look, look, that in a little while, that's gonna be chump change. So just hold on, you know.
But thank you for the opportunity and sharing
Yes.
the platform with us. We really appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you. Y'all have a blessed
And
day.
remember to send me the YouTube link so I can post it.
Yes, ma'am, I sure will. And thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to everyone that took the time out of your day. I appreciate you all as well. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.